Ladies and gentlemen, I come from Cameroon, a country whereby what makes us beautiful, what makes us rich, has been the major cause of our downfall. Because we speak English, because we speak French, in less than 5 years, over 6,000 people have died. 725,000 people have been forced to move away from their homes. Why? Because we speak English and because we speak French. On the picture in 2016, you will see here, lawyers brutalize, I'm talking about legal minds, brutalize in their robes. Why? Because they simply ask the judiciary system to ensure that the magistrates sent to the English-speaking region do the proceedings in English. Why would you brutalize a lawyer who simply wants a fellow Cameroonian to speak in a language where the court understands the language? They got brutalized. They got jailed up. On the second picture, in 2017, the University of Buea, where I got my undergraduate in law, a good number of our law lecturers were francophones. And the French they spoke was so terrible that we found it very difficult to understand. And when we decided to engage our administration about it, to speak about it, guess what happened to us? We were brutalized. We were dragged into the mob. A couple of our friends were locked up. Others disappeared. On the third picture, just in 2020, students in a primary school in Kumba were killed just because they were attending a class. And very recently, in 2022, October's Carol, her mom was driving her to school with 4 other students, or her siblings. There were 4 of them in the car, plus the mom. And a police officer stopped the mom. I mean, our police officers are used to stopping us to ask us for money. And the mom told him, please let me come back. The children are late. Let me take them to school. Guess what? He pulled his gun, shot his gun, and Carol's head was literally open. Carol was killed because she was going to school. This happened in Buea. Now, Cameroon is facing all these challenges, and increasingly, we are having challenges with our tribes. All of this stem because our government has stayed too long in power. All of this is happening because democracy has failed in our country. Look, I'm not saying that the people leading us are completely bad. I'm saying that because they have overstayed in power, we are beginning to have all these things. Now the question is, how do we bring back democracy in our country? How do we build people who have integrity? How do we build people who have values? Values for human being. Values to serve the people who put them in power. We are the Cameroon Debate Circuit, because I run an organization called the Cameroon Debate Circuit. We understand that the best way to bring democratic values in people is to invest in the next generation of leaders. And in order to ensure that young people embrace democracy, but most importantly, domesticate this democracy, my team and I, since 2016, have been going from secondary school to secondary school, university to university since 2016, training our peers how to be effective public speakers and debaters. And the beauty about the debate we do is we use the British parliamentary system of debate, where debaters know nothing they have to debate on until 15 minutes before debate starts. So you sit on stage, your topic is given, and you use your head, no access to smartphone, no access to book, and you come up with arguments. We use the British parliamentary system of debate and the American system of debate. So we firmly believe that the best way to improve a country is to invest in the next generation of leaders. Because if these young people can embrace democracy while they're in school, because the debating format allows different speakers to share their opinions without necessarily spreading violence. And that is the kind of thing we would have loved to have in our country. And through the debate circuit, we are working on increasing, because one of the major challenges we face in building the debate community in Cameroon is that we went about creating public speaking and debate clubs, but we did not ensure to build leadership system within this club. Thank God I was able to make it for this program. And the Presidential Precinct has been able to teach me how to build a leadership system within an organization that will ensure that while this generation is graduating, the next generation can keep up with the public speaking and debate clubs. And to further do this, we are working on increasing the number of debate societies, both in secondary schools and higher institutions across the territory. And we are going to be creating at least 25 debate clubs in each of Cameroon's 10 regions for secondary schools, at least 30 debate clubs in each of Cameroon, in higher institutions in each of Cameroon's 10 region. But most importantly, we have dropped a proposal to the Ministry of Secondary Education and Higher Education to introduce debate and public speaking as a new discipline in the annual FENASCO Games and University Games. These are games that bring university students, secondary school students every year to compete in basketball, football, handball. So we feel, but why can't we have an intellectual discourse from school? Because in our opinion, by investing in these children through debates and public speaking, we are going to have an improvement in mindset. An improvement where people are not going to die because they speak in English. An improvement in mindset where people are not going to die because they speak in French. Rather, those two languages are supposed to be what makes us unique and makes us thrive. But because people have remained in power for so long, more than 40 years, it is becoming our curse. So the whole idea is, how do we ensure that this next generation of leaders embrace democratic values, democratic principle? And this is what we are trying to do at the Cameroon Debate Circuit, by increasing the discourse amongst us. Because we believe by the time they get to the age to rule, they would have embraced this thing. Now, how do we need your support? Because eventually, the impact is this. By the end of 2023, over 5,000 young people would have benefited from public speaking and debate. And as a matter of fact, I am what I am today because I'm a public speaker and a debater. I've been to 8 countries. I have a lot of friends like myself with whom we started in debates, who are now working in the UN, working in really good positions. I haven't been to a lot of places, all because we were public speakers and debaters. Now the question is, how would you support the next generation of Cameroon leaders to be democratic leaders? We can't do this alone. It takes a lot of money to transport my team and I across Cameroon. It takes a lot of money to organize tournaments. We've been doing it anyway. And because we've been winning a lot of trophies across the continent, our government is now giving us the chance to speak to them. But the support is not yet there. So my question to you is, that is the guy who killed Carol on her way to school in 2020. He too got killed immediately after that. Once he did that, the population fell on him. His colleagues were there, but they couldn't do anything. But I swear that was the most terrible day of my life, because all of us, because when Carol was killed, citizens moved with her corpse all over the town. Her head was literally open. Everything from her head had fallen off. Now my question to you is, what are you going to do to ensure and promote democracy, not just in Cameroon, other African countries and the world at large? Thank you.